What if I told you Tesla just built a diner and it might just be the weirdest, coolest fast food experience in America? What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Tesla, EV chargers, classic 50s vibes, and a burger served while your car charges itself. But you really want to know, what do I think? Is the Tesla diner actually worth the hype or just a billionaire Musk quirky pit stop? Well, today I'm going to let you know a little bit about my experience and a little bit about the history and intent of this weird but quirky location. So, the Tesla Diner is located in West Hollywood, California. So, already kind of an iconic location. And Elon Musk's retro drive in experience, where your EV is your table, inspired by old school car hops, is essentially a part charging station, part restaurant, part nostalgia trip, of course, because this is located along the old Route 66. So, it's got a futuristic twist. So while I'm testing a bunch of things out, the food, the vibes, and whether they're actually a game changer for the road trip or just another Tesla flex, I was pretty skeptical. Although, let's be real, I was super nerdy because, hey, I love drive ins. They're pretty cool, they're a little nostalgic, and they've been dying off, as well as, sometimes the charging experience can be at a hotel that's boring and you're staring at a brick wall. So the whole vibe makes sense. So imagine where you pull in. It feels straight out of like a 1950s meets 2050s neon lights, retro signage, and a lineup of Teslas quietly sipping electrons. Teslas everywhere. We're talking around the block, cars coming in, trying, not always courteous. I'm going to be real with you. Some of the drivers like to cut in front of each other. The layout of that area is not really concise about allowing a bunch of vehicles to kind of work their way and weasel in. But this thing is in its first month of opening. It's a 24/7 location. So traffic is to be expected with anything involving Tesla, first of all, because people are coming around the United States to experience the one and only futuristic retro diner. So it is what it is. So you got to line up. It probably took me, I think, a half an hour to get into the chargers. Now there is 80 of these bad boys sitting there. And I don't think I've seen this month any time where it's dipped below full utilization. So, these guys are going crazy. And above them are solar panels. So for the larger extended lot, there's solar panels because only so many can fit right in front of the screens. But don't worry about that. What they actually have is in the vehicle, right? In the vehicle, where if you were able to, kind of order in advance, I wasn't able to because it was obviously so busy that if I ordered while I was driving there, um, it may or may not get to me on time. A little frustrating. So initially, they waited till you arrived to click the buttons to order. But right there, as you arrive to the location, your Tesla will show up a little icon for the diner. You click that, and guess what? You got two mega options. That mega option will be on the left. You could get food. Like you want some food, right? So there's a bunch of their food options. And the nice thing about their food, I'm just going to throw out there a little tidbit for you, is their food is trying to be sustainable. It's trying to be better options. It's trying to properly resource things. So it's not just, hey, let's find the cheapest, quickest solution you can get. The intent is to be a better model, a sustainable mentality that is part of Tesla's mission statement. So you can select, I think it was like burgers, hot dogs, drinks, ice cream, pie, fries, and it's all there, right? So you can select that once you get parked, and you'll say, hey, do you want to go pick it up in the location? Do you want to have a car hop? Yes, car hop, bringing on roller skates, and yes, they are doing little stunts and tricks and having fun. So I like to see the employees doing their thing, but they get to come out, right? And so they come out and they can bring you your food. But I selected, I'm just going to go pick it up because I'm going to want to eat inside the building anyways and check it out because there's some cool streets in there. So I selected to go there, and then I was like, okay, it's going to take a minute. I need a charge. I got a big cyber truck, so yeah, you plug that bad boy in, and I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm checking it out. Got some good pictures, but I was like, okay, time's going along, so I bang hit theater mode. Well, if you're in front of the big screens, just look at them. But I was in my car, not really good view for that moment. So the entire theater that is broadcasted up on the screen is also located on your screen. But let's say, oh man, I've already seen this one 1,000 times. Guess what? It's kind of like Netflix. They have additional options you can click and enjoy. So maybe you don't like watching what everybody else is watching. That's fine. Have a theater immersed experience right there within your vehicle. So let's move fast forward a little bit, right? So I kind of get out, get to enjoy all the different Teslas, different designs, because people love customizing the electric vehicle. So really the energy of the future and people really trying to work building a sustainable future or just looking to have flashy cars, they're all around you. So the spirit and energy is pretty high. But keep in mind, there's a lot of chaos that I'm going to get to a little bit later on. So I walk up. Obviously, there's a large line. So something you need to know is this is not exclusively for Tesla owners. This is a great place for you to charge, refresh, and really live and enjoy the Tesla's spirit of sustainability and what they're doing. But also, if you're just coming by in a normal vehicle and you just want to enjoy the diner or just enjoy the experience, there was at the time, because again, launch is very, very busy for Tesla items. There's a line, and I get to see all the people, just having fun, waiting, getting excited, pictures, hyping the thing up, the usual typical thing that happens when new launches of anything happens. But I pass through that and finally walk into the thing we've been seeing on all over the TVs, news casts, all that stuff. You got the big 60 inch. I think it's 60 inch. Maybe it's 60 foot. I don't. They're massive LED screens, right? These things you've seen everywhere. There's been controversy because they kind of block a view of the neighboring apartments. I believe the neighboring apartments, by the way, are luxury apartments, but there's been a mixed opinion. Some people are okay with it. Some people, just say, hey, look, you know what? You're going to run into a situation where you have neighbors build something next door. Next door could have been a giant tower, anyways. But in this case, it's a really interesting, albeit busy attraction. So moving on, the whole futuristic vibe, the curvature of the building, the curvature of the doors really kind of set in that emotion. At the time that I was there, they were playing Star Wars cartoon. I want to say it wasn't Rebels, but it was a more modern, newer one. So it's still like it's not all old-fashioned films or something like that. There's a lot of cool stuff, and from what I hear, they actually play the space shuttle, the SpaceX launches from them too. So being 24/7, you have the advantage of going through a lot of content and being able to present opportunities for events. So it'd be cool to watch a launch from there with a bunch of like-minded SpaceX nerds. So maybe in the future, we'll see. But as I continue to just dump information on you, my experience, I'm absorbing all this. I'm like, wow, this is a lot of people for one. You start to notice there's a wide variety of culture of people here. All sorts of races, all different types of families, single people, people just goofing off after work, all sorts of people, right? So it's not just stuck to a niche set of people. It seems like a wide range of people are attending this. And so I kind of look around, take more of my photos, kind of get some architectural shots, the usual B-roll stuff that we like to do with tech. And I proceed and grab my order. And this is where things get a little rocky at first. The environment feels definitely like a diner. You're walking past the bar table, if you will, and there's some people sitting down. It looks like one of the employees were doing something there too. So it looks like he was busy working too. But also, the people getting their drinks, ordering the whole nine. And as I get to the area where the people are, scrambling to make sure everybody gets their order, the call outs, I was thinking at that very moment, it reminded me of something very specific. So, if you've ever been to In and Out, you'll notice that their numbers are being called, their orders are being put, people are picking up relatively quickly. But imagine if you had Gordon Ramsay in there. There was a very heavy, I think he would love this, a heavy ability for people to communicate. Like people were yelling back and forth, and not in a negative way, but just calling out what they needed. If they needed something extra, man, you heard them. They were confirming it. Like this, the communication in that team was really well done. So you get there. I get my bag of treats, if you will. I ordered a burger, some fries, because I had to try out that. I got a drink and some apple pie. I just figured, here's a well-rounded American meal to go with my American retro Route 66 experience, right? So I get that. I'm like, I went upstairs because I'm already nerded out. I'm like glazed over, looking around, looking at all the cool stuff. As you go up the stairs, by the way, in the diner, which is all curved, um, it's beautiful. But they have Optimuses of variations, different stages along Optimus's future. Which, by the way, is their. If you didn't know, that's their robot, right? So they're showing that, and there's a little bit more to be said about that in the immediate future. But essentially, I like got to the top of the stairs, and you know what's going to happen. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot my drink. So I had to go back down, and since it was very busy, I just said, "Okay, I'm gonna take the elevator." Got to meet some nice people, talk back and forth. So again, very involved social experience. And keep in mind, this is all while I'm charging my vehicle, so nothing has been really derailed from my experience. So I go downstairs. I'm like, "Hey guys, I didn't get a drink with my stuff. It was just XYZ. I think I had an orange soda. Got that. Something to notate. Paper cups. And I think they're bamboo straws, which I was like, oh, thank God it's not paper. That cardboard nasty taste that comes out of California, while I know is sustainable, just sucks. So this solution, I think, was a bamboo. Much better experience. You still get that raw soda taste without that paper in your mouth flavor. So cool. Got my drink. Went upstairs. Um, I guess to kind of ADHD is bouncing all over the place, guys. I'm just trying to give you as much information in a compact way as I can. But something else to note is the things that you get, right? The condiments, the spoons, and all that stuff. The spoons and forks are actually made out of wood, and they are like a fork and a spoon, but they're shaped in kind of like a very straight format, kind of a hat tip to the Cybertruck, maybe. Has the Tesla stamped on the end, but a wooden silverware, so not a lot of plastic. Again, really trying to lean into sustainability, I think. Good job. So it's not just a cheap, quick fly-by fast food place. They're really, really trying to live by that mission. So I go upstairs and I sit down to eat. Now, the first thing I do is I open up my Cybertruck, because it doesn't come in one of those burger cases. Your food actually comes in little openable Cybertrucks where the lid comes off and it's basically a Cybertruck. It's really dope. If you haven't seen it, I'll try to post a picture on this. But um, yeah, so you get the Cybertruck open, and my heart. This is kind of where things got a little weird and a little frustrating, but it is what it is, and I understand. So I'll make my point. But I opened it up, and my heart sunk because my burger was there, and it wasn't the burger that made my heart sink. The burger was actually, to be real with you, it was really good. But it kind of sunk because I had chocolate ice cream melted all over the bottom, and I was confused. And I looked at the bottom, the front of the Cybertruck container, and it was all covered in melted ice cream. And so I look in the bag, and I'm like, oh, that's when it hit me, right? That's when it hit me. At that very moment, I was like, crap. The ice cream melted that went with the pie, apple pie. So yes, it's on both of these little Cybertrucks that were inside this bag. It's all over the inside of the bag. It smells over the burger. But I'm like, I wanted to keep it to kind of memorabilia. I know it's silly, cheesy trash, but it was cool. Having a Cybertruck burger container, like that's just cool, right? Like, I'm not the only geek. Maybe. Okay. Anyways, moving on. I enjoyed the burger. Definitely a smash burger. I wouldn't say it's top 10 of the burgers I like. I'm not a huge smash burger person, but the flavor was there. It was definitely a smash burger flavor. It tasted good. I had no complaints about it. I think for what it was, I think it probably could have been a bit more bigger bun, a bit more bigger patty, but again, not really bad complaint about it. Like it is what it is. I was more still kind of recovering from, damn it, I got mess everywhere, and I'm just trying. It's a little windy on top, by the way, of that diner thing, so I had to like make sure everything was not flying away, taking my photos, doing the stuff, going, how do I want to present this photo? Doing the nerdy Instagram thing. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I continue to take these photos, and I go in. And I'm like, okay, fine. But then I move on to the fries. Now, the fries are made with some beef, whatever. I can't remember the name because the brain's just not remembering. But anyways, it is kind of like the trimmings of the beef fat. It's fried in that, which gives an amazing flavor to these fries. Wouldn't say they're top on the healthy list, but pretty dang good. And the fries were great. Yeah, so not much to say there. But where disappointment part 2 came in, right? It was frustrating. I opened up the other Cybertruck where the pie was. And the pie, I was expecting for the price and how respectable I've seen stuff. I was like, okay, the pie is going to be a reasonable size for its price. You go anywhere else and it's definitely bigger. So I open it up, and first thing I see is the absolute obliteration of what was left of that little tiny cup and whatever ice cream I had, because that thing melted everywhere. Now, keep in mind, we're in California. It's summertime. Yes, things melt. So it is what it is. I'm like, okay, the ice cream's a wash. It made a mess. Fine, move on. But the disappointment came to that pie. The pie one looked really small. Kind of like if you had one of those miniature, you know, pizzas. If you were to cut imagine a pie being that size and you cut slices out of that, it was small. So I was kind of, for this price, I would have expected a bit more pie. Now that's not discrediting the fact that it tasted amazing. Like the pie was good to eat. Like it was flavorful. It was good. It was disappointing in its size. And I'll admit, it looked like whoever served it and put it in the thing was in a bit of a hurry. The thing looked like it was smashed and kind of just thrown in there. I mean, it still hold a pie shape, but presentation wise, it was rough. It was very rough. Now, I know I'm critiquing a diner slash quick food, especially in a massively busy line. Like we're talking, this place is constantly getting people going through it. So yeah, sure. Fine. Okay, I ate it, enjoyed it. Okay, round number three, right? I didn't mention this earlier because I wanted to kind of say it towards the end. Obviously, I'm eating food. I'm gonna need to take a drink, right? Whatever happened, Conchu, to that orange soda? Well, you mean my carbonated water? That orange soda did not have any orange flavor in it. And me, I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, whatever. I'm going to enjoy the process, enjoy the food, but I definitely have a lot of feedback. I actually got to sit down with one of the employees while I was eating because, again, the tables are all taken up. The place is massively busy at this time. So I was sitting with him and he was telling me about his experience and what he does. And I was just saying, look, the only feedback I could say is really what I'm going to say now. And that is, if I had genuine feedback for the Tesla diner, like what would I say, right? Is it good? Yeah, I think the food is good. Um, the place it slipped up, and I genuinely blame this on just how busy it is the QA. The quality of the presentation of the thing, and maybe rethinking that ice cream during the summertime, not a great idea. Uh, it needs work. They do represent themselves as I would say more of a premier experience for a fast food or dining experience. So I was disappointed in the quality for the price, but the flavor quality and all that stuff was great. I didn't have a problem. I mean, for some people, a smash burger is a smash burger, and that's kind of how I felt. But it was definitely had flavor to it, so I wasn't mad or disappointed by the burger. Fries were amazing. Cannot bitch about the fries. The soda thing that I wanted to call it a Sprite. It was orange soda, but that was again so busy you didn't get a test of the drinks. Make sure you're not out of syrups. Again, stuff that is operational that I think after a month or just as things progress, they can improve. So if anybody at Tesla sees this, you guys are doing great. I know you guys are suffering through some massive flow of people, but remember to keep the quality up because that really dictates the experience and what I'm sharing with everybody today. So when you step back from all of that, uh, it's not anything crazy, but the experience, the futuristic diner, the furniture is very futuristic, the atmosphere, the energy, the when I was sitting down eating, I could see the screen and watch Star Wars cartoons with the rest of the people. It's just an overall vibe that I think really defined the 50s and something we kind of remember or reflect on when we make future sci-fi movies of this diner neon light retro vibe. And I really would love to see this come all over the nation. Phrasing, uh, be all over the nation and have something that everybody can just kind of look back, hat tip to Route 66, the diner experience, and give that futuristic hope, but all provided as a staple example of a fast food restaurant or restaurant, whatever you want to call it, can make steps in the right direction to be sustainable and have a good experience. Absolutely. So the last little tidbits I can leave you with, if you go there, absolutely a unique Instagram worthy experience. So go there at least once, take some pictures, have some fun, be silly, and enjoy the future. The food, yeah, better than expected, especially for a car charging pit stop. Hell yeah. Cons, well, the limited seating was the food experience I had for the price for the premium. Yeah, $15 burgers, $7 shakes. Not great. So I would say it's a novelty. If you don't care for the vibe, it's not a big deal. It's diner fast food, but with a sustainability feature to it attached to a cool experience for supercharging or people walking by. So would I drive out there again for just a burger. I mean, it's a little bit far, but if I'm in the area of West Hollywood or the Walk of Fame, the stars and all that, or heading to Universal Studios or coming off of it, absolutely. I need to charge my car. It's a great charging stop with side of nostalgia from the Route 66 era. Heck yeah. So if you get a chance, I think you should check it out. And yeah, that's it. Have a great day.